Welcome to Dom's Corner, everybody, the show where we talk about entertainment and a little bit of life, too. I am your host, Dom Martino. Sitting here with me today, I have Mr. Ian Schick. Ian, how you doing?
I'm dying.
You're dying. All right. Well, we got some news to talk about today. Lots of fun stuff. We'll get around to all that. Looks like Wonder Woman might be going to streaming around January. That's interesting.
Really?
Snyder Cut's adding an extra 4 minutes. We finally got to look at that Doug Liman movie, Chaos Walking. So a bunch of interesting stuff, and we'll get to all that here in a little bit. But for the first part of the show, we're just going to sit here and chat it up a bit. And how was your day in? How's your week been? How's weekend, I guess? How's everything going?
I've been sick, and I'm thinking it's just the flu. I don't think it's COVID like I thought it was. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But, excuse me. Anyway, I haven't been able to work, so I'm sure they probably think this bastard's lazy as hell.
Well, they shouldn't want you in there with symptoms.
Yeah, no, they don't. DM told me to stay away. So.
Right.
I'll get in contact with them tomorrow and see what's up if I'm feeling better. Outside of that, I didn't ask how you're doing. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm gonna tell you something. The mind and the body are not meant to give a shit about things on certain days, and today has just been one of those days. Like that, they really aren't. Like they're not meant to give a shit every single day of the week. I mean, the mind, the body, and the soul, I guess, are just not meant to give a shit about things. And today, it's been one of those days, and I don't really feel up to doing anything, really. I just want to lay around and be unproductive. And
yeah, I feel that.
And sit here and bullshit. That's the kind of day I've been having today. And
I get you. Bad day at work or something?
No. I mean, it was...
Just feeling like you needed a day off type of relaxation.
Just don't feel like I give a shit about things. Like, I know there's things I could be doing. I don't want to do them. If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
There's productive things I could be doing today. I don't want to do them. It was like that yesterday too. So that's just kind of how I've been. It's been really, really weird. So
I don't know. What's the temperature there right now?
I don't know. Cold. That's probably it.
Fair enough.
That's probably it. This
has been rainy.
Where it got cold finally. Like it's starting to get pretty cold. So
did it get rainy at all?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that might be it,
That's
bro. It might be
it.
the fact that it's cold and rainy.
I'm glad you pointed that out because that is probably the answer. I'm sure, as it always is. It's that's like an actual problem that like people need to look into. I have it too. Like medical experts need to look into this a little more. Like
I'm pretty positive that there's like an actual diagnosis for it, bud.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna look that up.
That's crazy.
Now it might even be called rainy day syndrome.
Rainy day syndrome. That's interesting. Well, I have it. It wasn't rainy today. The sun was out today, but it was still cold. But
rainy day syndrome, SAD. This disorder can make a person experience prolonged sadness or overall sense of feeling down and cause a lot of issues with daily living. Even mundane tasks that once seemed simple may feel impossible to start, let alone complete.
I see. There you go. It's an actual medical issue.
We have sad.
We have sad. We have sadness on... we have sad on sad days. I don't know. I was going to go somewhere with that, and it didn't work out. That's just my mind not giving a shit. I'm telling you, man.
That's your rainy day syndrome speaking.
Yeah. I didn't even, and as excited as I was, and I did watch it, obviously, but as excited as I was for it, I didn't even want to watch the Lego holiday special today. Like, that's how unproductive I wanted to be. I just want to sit and stare at a wall. That's all I wanted to do today.
Dude, I've been playing only Hollow Knight and watching, like, just random things. I watched the Lego Star Wars, special, and I was like, yeah, but I want to play Hollow Knight.
Right.
I finished it.
But. Yeah. I mean, I restarted Jedi Fallen Order yesterday, and I was playing it for hours. I didn't realize I was playing it for hours. And then I got
the controls in that game are pissing me off.
There's something sometimes. I mean, you know what's the worst? It's one of those games that it's designed for you to get lost. Like, it is designed for you to not know which direction you're going at times. And
Well, that's why you have a map.
you have a map, but have you seen that fucking map they give you?
Yeah, that map is stupid.
Come on.
No, dude, that was their attempt at making a Dark Souls like Star Wars game, and
It's
I
a
feel
phenomenal game. It's my favorite Star Wars game, in all honesty. It's phenomenal.
I don't know if I'd say phenomenal. Those controls are the biggest thing.
Did you finish it?
No, I've
Finish
not.
it.
But look, man, when I'm playing a game, controls mean everything. If I'm not able to control things, like this game right here, the Hollow Knight game,
Yeah.
if I'm not able to get through the game without issues, then it's not phenomenal. It could be fantastic.
What are you having trouble controlling though?
It seems like the reflect system, the pairing system, the movement system, it's all buggy. It seems like whenever I try to move anywhere, it's like I'll either have some movement lag, which kind of makes sense.
I don't have that problem.
Another problem I'll have is where he just won't go the direction I'm pointing on my controller, and my controller's not broken.
That's weird. I don't have that problem with the game. I don't know.
It's like the only game I have problems with. I tried updating it, I tried reinstalling it, and I'm just like, I'll just fucking play with it with these issues. Call
somebody. No, I don't know, because that it shouldn't be doing that. I don't have those problems. I was thinking more or less because when you first start out as Cal, there's a lot of things that you can't do with the controls, and then the more you upgrade them, the more ability you get to control things.
And you know what? That's fair. I feel like that's fair, but like, there's just a lot of movement problems I'm having.
There shouldn't be.
And then the pairing system, it's like the timing on it has to be super fucking precise. I've found, because while I'm trying to parry, I've had to bug the game down from Jedi Knight down to what is it? I had to jump it all the way down to the lowest difficulty.
Well, most people do play on the lowest one. It's a hard game if you don't play it on the.
Well, I want to play a hard game, but the thing is, the controls are so janky.
Well, my point is, even on the lowest difficulty, it's still hard. It's just not as hard, but it's still pretty hard. So that's why most people play on the lowest. I mean, if you really want to go on a suicide mission, you can jump up to the highest difficulty, but it's ridiculous.
It's definitely reminiscent of Dark Souls to me, because some of the ability, like some of the like when you go to attack, it queues up attacks, it queues things, and then you can't unqueue them.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
So, I mean, that's fine by me, because I'm used to that in Dark Souls. So it's like, don't get greedy or you get punished.
To me, for me, what won me over on it was the story. I mean, the story is just incredible. I mean, it really is. And I like the fact that I like all the things we get to do throughout the game, too. Like, there's a lot of different...
The stories... I already know that the story is going to be what's it for me. I do know that, but it's just like, while I'm playing, I want to be able to actually play the game without having.
I don't know why you're having those problems though, because I don't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you ever get the new generation console, it won't have those problems with the game. Which you can't find for under $1,000 right now. That's the other thing that pissed me off today is I'm perfectly willing to go out and spend the money on a PS4, but you can't find them for under $1,000.
A PS4 or a PS5?
5. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Oh,
I'm perfectly willing to go out and get it, but I can't find one for under $1,000 right now.
Don't just wait until it goes out in retails, because the reason why is because there's a lot. Here's the thing: whenever a new console comes out, there's always going to be some sort of issue with it. We just haven't found it yet, or maybe we have.
Yeah, one of the manufacturer. I mean, they'll always fix it for you
for a price.
No, they don't. I've always had my shit fixed for free if there was ever a bug.
With Xbox?
And PlayStation.
Really?
Uh huh.
I've heard Xbox, like they'll recharge you for like whenever the Ring of Death was happening with the 360s, they would charge you for a new console essentially. Just
don't tamper with it. send it like, don't try to fix it on your own. Send it back. They'll send it back to you. I mean, no, my thing is like I was trying to find one for under $1,000, and like I'm hearing that they're projecting they won't even have more in stock until February.
Just wait until February, man. Honestly.
I want to play Miles Morales.
I do too, but you can play that on Xbox One, I believe.
No,
No,
you
you can play it
cannot.
on PS4.
I don't have a
Just get a
PS4.
PS4. Get a PS4 for
I'm not
like
gonna
100
fucking
to
buy a
$200.
PS4 when I'm just gonna spend money on a PS5 2 months from now, 3 months from now.
Use the PS4, like I'm saying, get a PS4
No,
for
I'm
like
not gonna
150
fucking buy it.
bucks.
I'm not buying a PS4. I'm gonna get a PS5. Like that's so stupid. Buy the PS4, and
That's
then
what I would do for right now. If I didn't have this PS4, there's no way in hell I would spend more than $500 for a
that
PS5.
doesn't make any sense because I'm spending like the same amount of money in 2 to 3 months for something better.
No, you aren't. You can
Well,
get
not the same
PS4s for
amount.
like
I know you can get it for like 150 or something like that. I've seen them for
yeah.
that. Yeah, but that's a lot of money. That's like a quarter of the PS5.
I'll send you my PS4. How about
No.
that?
I don't want your PS4. I want to play Miles Morales on the best graphics possible. And I didn't even get to play the last Spider-Man game, so I'm still a game behind. And I need to because I've been,
All right,
I
I'm sending
haven't
you my
had a
PS4 so you
PlayStation.
can play the last one.
No, don't. I want the fucking thing. Let-
There's no way in hell I'd send you my PS4 anyway. It's the Spider-Man 4
this
edition.
is my problem. It's don't say it's out today if it's not. If you can't go get it, they shouldn't say it's out today. I know people got it, but like not a lot of people got it. I hate
Here's
that.
what I hope. I hope that these scalpers, because a lot of them aren't able to return the systems, I hope these scalpers just get stuck with these consoles and have to sell them for less.
They're not going to sell them for the. Well, they might sell them for the grand, honestly.
No, I'm talking about I hope they get stuck with these systems. Nobody buys them. The PlayStations comes out so that nobody like they refuse to buy them again because of the PlayStations coming out for $1,000 and I hope that or for $500 nobody's like really wanting to buy them.
Yeah, but
What I was saying,
we wish the same scenario upon them every time, and that never happened. Until the toilet paper thing.
This time. This time it's funny because GameStop is not letting them return them.
Oh, I know.
And GameStop wouldn't let people pick up some of their PlayStations.
I just feel like they'll still be successful on eBay at selling them. Like, I'm not going to do it, but I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to go spend $1,000 for one. It's like
Fuck that.
No, I'm not going to. I'm saying, but I'm tempted. So it's like I've been waiting for it for so long just because I want to play Miles Morales. And it's the same thing that happened the last fucking time the Spider-Man game came out. I wasn't able to play it. And so, I've been waiting all this time for a PS5. This is what I've been waiting on. Because it's like, it's going to be the better console anyway. I'm not going to buy a second console of the same generation as my Xbox. So I didn't get to play Spider-Man. I didn't get to play God of War. I didn't get to play Death Stranding. I didn't get to play Last of Us 1 or 2. I didn't get to play
I feel like once you finally get that
reboot of
PlayStation
Kingdom
5,
Hearts.
you're going to be stuck in your room playing games.
Yes.
Honestly, the reboots of Kingdom Hearts are not worth it. I love Kingdom Hearts. The reboots,
I still should have been able to play them and come up with that opinion on my own. That doesn't make me feel any better.
Here's what I'm saying. Okay,
what you're trying to do.
No. It's so like here's the problem with them. It's like you get the final mix. The final mix is dope, cool, whatever. But they bumped it from 30 FPS to 60 FPS without taking consideration that to fix some problems with it. So think 1 second here. So some of the excuse me. Some of the problems are that in Kingdom Hearts 1 with Sephiroth's battle, you remember how he does Meteor?
No, I don't remember the games. I just want to replay them so I can remember.
Oh, well.
I played them when I was younger, but
something like Meteor, it goes around the room and it goes really slow like this, right?
Okay.
And then when they bumped it up to 60 FPS, they never changed how that functions. So now and you can't dodge them. Right. It literally like a lot of the mechanics in it. It's like if I could go back and just play the final mix on my PlayStation 2, I would totally do that over playing on the PlayStation 4. Though I do love the games. Kingdom Hearts 3 was garbage in my opinion, though.
I didn't play it. I didn't even bother. I wanted to play 1 and 2 before I got to 3, and I didn't get to do that. And also,
you can get them on Xbox.
Oh, what was the other one? Fucking Ghost of Tsushima, and that one just came out. That game, I didn't get to play it. Akira Kurosawa is like one of my favorite filmmakers. If anybody, I got like 3 Blu-rays back here. If anybody deserves to play that game, it's me. And they have a Kurosawa mode on it.
Real quick,
Yeah.
you can get Kingdom Hearts like Saga on Xbox now, from what I understand.
Oh, can you? I don't know. I just
If
want
you
to play it on the
check
PS5.
check the Xbox store.
Okay.
The PS5 is not going to change the quality of that game.
I'm done buying games on the Xbox too because I mean it's not worth it anymore. The next games I'm gonna buy are gonna be games I want to fucking play. Have you been on an Xbox store? It's like the most depressing thing ever. It's like ridiculous. The
A bunch of
selection you
indie
have.
games that suck.
Right, and that's what you get. I'm not saying that PlayStation gives shit out for free, but my point is like they put all that stuff up. I mean, most of it's either free or $20 at this point. Oh,
I'm honestly surprised Xbox survives.
I don't think they're going to now. Like they said, like 75% of gamers want PlayStation this time.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did you know that they've been trying to buy out their Microsoft thing for years? Since they've started, they've been trying, and they still haven't been able to. Like, how can you not afford to buy yourself out with a console as solid as Xbox?
Yeah. I don't know. Because they don't put out good games. Either that or Sony's just being greedy and keeping all the games for themselves, which I think is actually what's happening.
Well, I know a lot of people complain about the PlayStation controllers, and a lot of people complain about the Xbox controllers, but personally, I don't feel like there's any issues with either of them.
I like the Xbox controller better. Trust me. But this new PlayStation one looks very dope.
Well, what's cool is you can usually buy controllers that kind of feel like the Xbox controllers for PlayStation, or vice versa.
Right.
Now, granted, you have to pay a bunch for it, but
right.
If you really want something that bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, just
right.
I don't know.
No, I'm not buying a PS4 though, because that's dumb. That's a quarter of the investment I'm putting into the PS5. So then it's like, then I gotta wait even longer for the PS5 because I just spent a quarter of that investment. You know what I mean?
Just when you get the chance, just make sure you hit up like your local GameStop and be like, "Hey, I want to pre-order a PS5 for some shit. Like, I want to get a PS5 when it comes out because I don't want to have this issue with the scalpers."
I don't even have local GameStop anymore. They shut them all down out here.
Really?
Yeah. Any of the ones that I would go to, yeah. Any of the ones near me, yeah, they've shut them all down, so I don't even have one anymore.
That's fucking nuts. Are you in Lafayette right now, or are you in
Lafayette? But like, it's like, yeah, they shut those down.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I think it started with the pandemic, and then I don't think they've opened up since. So
that's fucking nuts, bro. Have you been keeping up with them to make sure?
No. I mean, I never shopped there anyway.
Fair enough.
I honestly, I mean, I don't know. I was just gonna get the PlayStation 5 from Best Buy. Best Buy somewhere I go a lot. I can go there and I don't know, get on a waiting list or some shit. I don't know how it's gonna work.
I don't think they have a waiting list, unfortunately.
Right.
I mean,
well, the GameStop probably didn't either.
You go there frequently. Well, depending on if you're cool with the people or not.
No, I'm not really cool with the people at GameStop.
All right, what about the ones back in Kokomo?
I don't know them.
I know
Pedro. I know who their store manager was at one point, but like
Riley.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Pedro's the store manager of that one now. You can probably get in cool with Pedro real fast. You just gotta talk to him and be like, "Hey."
Yeah, I'm sure he would, but I'm not going all the way to fucking Kokomo for this. I should be able to get on my phone and just order the fucking thing. Like, that's how easy it should be in 2020.
But unfortunately, these fucking neckbeards that are trying to resell this shit. You know what? It's not good to wish ill upon people, but I really do hope that they all get testicular cancer.
I just think that they...
That's fucked up of me, but I do feel that way because that's really fucked up to try to take joy from people like that.
I'm pretty pissed about it, so I'm okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, you gotta be like... It's not that. It was, I mean, a lot of it was they underestimated. That's part of it, don't get me wrong. But I'm saying a lot of it was they clearly underestimated how many people were going to want the PlayStation. The fact that they sold out in like 4 or 5 hours the night of the pre-order is ridiculous.
Well, that has to do with people buying more than 2 PlayStations.
No, I'm saying that's part of it. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that I think the other part of it is they underestimated that was going to happen. Clearly. Also, excuse me, sorry, I'm about to die here, so let me plug myself in.
You're good.
So they underestimated that. Obviously, I think that's obvious. And the other thing is the pandemic, so they're probably having a hard time getting people to remanufacture more at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're probably limiting their factories, or you know what I mean?
Well, so one thing that I realized with the Switch, because people were scalping the Switches a shit ton.
That always
One thing I
happens with
realized with
Nintendo.
those, yeah. Well, which by the way, I need to pay my cousin some money for this 3DS he has. It's a 3DS and it has this case on it that's like a special Pikachu case and it's like black and gold and it's sick.
Yeah.
But anyway, so one thing that'll happen is whenever the PlayStations are redistributed in like probably February, um, people won't be scalping them as much, so you have a higher chance of getting it.
Oh, I know, and I just don't think it's right that I have to wait that long. Like,
I agree.
they should have had a plan to where people were actually able to get them. Like, and I understand. Like, when I wanted an Xbox, like when I got the Xbox One, I had to show up at like a Toys R Us at 9 a.m, but I still had that option. With the PS5, that wasn't an option. No stores got them because the pre-orders, they got them for pre-order, but other than that, they didn't get any more supply.
Yeah.
And that should have been an option. Like, they should always have overstock, and they didn't this year. I'm not saying nobody did. I'm saying that anywhere around me did not. I can tell you that right now. So, I was just really upset, and I've just been waiting to play. Like, I list off like 5-6 games that I missed out on. So, and like all those games are getting sequels. So there's another part of it. It's like, so now I'm behind because they're all story-based games, and obviously I want to play the ones that came before I get to the...
Yeah,
because that's important to me.
See, one thing that's cool is for like the PlayStation 4, not to rub it into you, buddy. For the PlayStation 4, I'll be able to buy the Miles Morales game and then play it, and then whenever I get a PS5, port it over.
Oh, I know. But yeah, again, I don't want to spend quarter of my investment that I've put aside for the PS5.
I get you.
It's like, then I gotta wait a little longer because then I gotta save up a little more, you know?
If you got a PS4, I'd game share with you so you could play all those games you mentioned.
Oh, I would love it. But
you'd save yourself some monies.
I should have gotten a PS4 from the get-go, but nobody told me when the Xbox One and PS4 was coming out that that there was going to be all these great games on PlayStation and not Xbox.
I could have told you.
How would you have known that? How the fuck would anybody know that? It hadn't happened yet.
Because PlayStation 3, they were still getting a shit ton of console exclusives. Like a ton.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were great.
Yeah, but not like, I mean, like, there wasn't like a whole lot that you couldn't get on Xbox.
In fact, I did tell my friends too. I was like, guys, I know you play Xbox, but switch over to PlayStation.
Well, you're the reason I lost a lot of my fucking online friends then, because it was like that thing, Ian. Like you get together with a group of friends, and it's like, okay, now on the count of 3, we're all going to stick our asses out and take a photo. But like, what do you say, 3? You're the only one that did it. That's kind of what it was like when the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 came out. The Xbox One and PlayStation 4, because
everybody's like, we're gonna get a Xbox One.
Right, all my friends and I were all in agreement. We're gonna get an Xbox One, and then I'm the only one that got it. And then all my friends were like, "Oh, dude, we decided on the PS4." It's like, so why the fuck did you tell me that you were gonna get the Xbox One up until now?
If it makes you feel any better, you're gonna have a PlayStation 4, a 5 before I ever will.
Probably. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know that the world's still going to be around when I get, by the time any of us get a chance to get a PS5.
We'll see. What would suck if we get all these great games to drop and then a apocalypse happens and we have to survive and we can't even fucking play these games. Like, imagine living in a world like The Last of Us, and
Well, then, yeah, I
you're
get
like
to play The
looking
Last
forward to
of
these
Us in real
games.
life. Finally, I get to see what The Last of Us was like. If we have an apocalypse, yeah, I finally get to see what it was all like. I get to see what the
I'm
hype
in the
was about.
perfect place for it because this is The Last of Us. The first scene is in Texas.
Oh, really?
I believe so. In the first game, the
You're
first scene is
probably
in
right. Like,
Texas.
just based on the previews I've seen.
Joel is from Texas. That's about all I remember.
Did Last of Us come out on 3 or 4? PS3 or PS4?
It came out on 3, and then the PS4 dropped, and they
And
were
it was an
like, "Here, now you
exclusive.
can have it on 5."
Right. Yeah.
I mean, now you can have it on 4.
So that's why everybody
And
went with
that's
the
what's
4, right? Because The Last of Us. That was like one of the
yeah.
big things. Okay. Well, it makes
That was
sense.
the hugest thing.
I'm still mad at everybody. They could have let me know, so I could have also gotten the PS4. But then I had an Xbox, and then it was funny because then I had more people reporting back to me. Don't worry, dude. I'm still gonna get the Xbox One. All those other guys are dicks. And then guess what? They all got PS4s too.
Dom, I would have told you from the get-go. I'm getting a PS4.
I didn't know you then, so it's not your fault.
I know. PS4 dropped like a couple years before I even started like hanging out with you.
I am so pissed about that to this
you,
day.
You know what's funny is the Last of Us came out right before the PS4 dropped, and so they re-released it on the PS4, and then now this current Last of Us just dropped, and now they're like, well, we were gonna wait until the PS5, so here you're gonna get another PS5 edition, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just I'm salty about all that. You get it. I mean, nobody fucking told me. I mean, I got the Xbox for 2 reasons, man. 1, Halo. 2, brand loyalty. And 3, actually 3 reasons. Because 3, I thought all my online friends that I had from the 360 were going to transfer over. And
like the only reasons I want an Xbox is for Gears of War and Forza, and I can play at least Forza on computer.
You know what's fucked up is they did. Now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of my friends that got that PS4 didn't even get it because of the exclusive games. They got it because they didn't want to pay for that damn Kinect that the Xbox came with, because they felt like that was included in the price, which, to their credit, it was. And then the Kinect became a very useless thing after a while.
By technicality, yes, it's included in the price, but you're still paying only $400 compared to what the PS4 came out originally was $500.
I'm just saying it was a dick move on everybody's part. That's all. Because they all told me. That's the only... honestly, that was the biggest reason that I got it in the first place. And it... What's that?
You got it for the Kinect?
No. Because all my friends told me they were getting it. So it was like, if they told me they were getting a PS4, that's what I would have went out and got. But it was a sturdy console, that first one, though. Like, it lasted me a long ass time.
Oh, the Xbox One?
Yeah, I didn't get a new Xbox One until way early this year.
Dude, you should just got a PS4 then.
Well, I did think about it, but the Xbox that I found was incredibly cheap, like under 100.
Oh,
that's the only reason I got a new one, because I wanted my games to be streamed in 4K, and my disk drive wasn't working on the other one. So I have all these games. I'm going to get the digital edition of the 4, though. Or the 5, I'm sorry, the PS5, because, I mean, what am I going to use the disc drive for? Everything I buy is on digital now. So,
I mean,
game-wise.
I'm going to dish out the $500 for the disc. But that's just because I do like to collect.
Well, if you need a 4K player, I understand it. I actually already have a 4K player, so I wouldn't need that either.
PlayStation 4 is supposed to be 4K compatible. Let me tell you, it's not.
Well, the 4 Pro, the PS4 Pro streams 4K, but it won't play discs in 4K.
Well, I have a 4K TV, and it will not let me do anything 4K wise with it.
Did you go into your PlayStation 4 settings?
Yes. I had to reset
the PS4
a lot of
Pro,
shit,
right? You had the Pro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the Spider-Man Pro.
Okay. Because that's the one I was told that streams 4K. Because I thought about getting it, and that was the other thing. My buddy told me that it doesn't play 4K.
It streams
disc.
2K.
Yeah.
It streams 2K. It simulates, in quotation, simulates 4K. Streams 2K.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind that Xbox was capable of 4K before PlayStation, honestly, because Sony Sony's the one that has the rights to this shit.
Yeah, I got an Xbox that plays 4K, works perfectly fine for under $100. I mean, it's
That's
one
fantastic.
hell of a deal. Yeah, and my games look fantastic. So,
See, you know what's really crazy is that Sony actually has shares in Xbox.
I believe it.
That's why they're able to use the Blu-ray
It's
player.
actually not all that crazy to me. Oh yeah, because Sony came up with the shit. Xbox was trying to do HD DVD. Remember that? Ever how well that worked out?
I don't remember.
Oh man, I feel like I have one somewhere back here still. I remember the first one that came out, I think, was the Transformers, and it looked like a Blu-ray, but it was only the Xbox can play it. And like Blu-ray just destroyed it because, well, first of all, it was dumb because they only put out a few of these fuckers, the HD DVDs, and Sony was making like everything on Blu-ray at the time, or everything was going on Blu-ray. But the HD DVDs literally looked like a Blu-ray except it was red instead of blue. Yeah, kind of crazy. It was like
stupid.
It was Microsoft's version of the Blu-ray, but they didn't. I don't think they even made like HD DVD players. You just had to have the Xbox, if I'm not mistaken.
Jesus,
it was a really dumb. They really. That's the thing about Xbox. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, they make some good consoles, but they continue to make stupid decisions on top of it.
Well, it also has to do with Microsoft a bit too.
Well, that's what I mean. Microsoft as a whole just continuously makes dumb decisions. I appreciate them because, without them, I wouldn't be having this podcast right now, in all honesty, at this point. Well, yeah, I mean, because I'm using a computer it's a Windows computer, so.
Oh, yeah.
Operating system, so, yeah. But, so I appreciated them, and they gave me a lot of entertainment. I'm sorry, I'm done with Xbox. But for all those years, they were a lot of fun. Dude, the Xbox 360 was, like, the shit when it came out. It was.
I noticed that so like the difference between like the Call of Duties on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
The screen was clearer on Xbox. That is one thing I did notice.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, like back in the day, like Xbox was ahead in graphics back in the day.
Yeah, it was. No, I agree.
Way ahead. It's like PlayStation caught up out of the blue. They really did. And
I think what they didn't realize is that Xbox was going to be such a powerhouse with graphics at first. So now Xbox has to go and excuse me, dish out so much shit. Because Sony has the money to dish out that shit.
I'll never forget like having that first Xbox, because that used to be how you got your variety of games. Like they used to have the exclusives back in the day, like Halo. What was the other one, like Manhunt, all this other shit they would put out that you couldn't get on the PlayStation, and they were all Xbox exclusives. Oh man, I miss those. So much fun.
What blows my mind is how many of my friends there are that will just still buy Xbox.
Yeah, none of mine, evidently. Which
I really don't want a mini fridge under my TV.
Yeah,
I mean I do, but not like a super mini fridge to where I can just put one monster in it.
You know what, to me, ruined a lot for games in general is online gameplay. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a real revolutionary thing. Because I feel like if I hadn't had it, I would have been bored a lot. My point is like, if you give me like 100 story-based games, a year or something, I would take that over online gaming any day.
Sometimes I feel the same. I mean, like, I want to be able to play a game alongside my friends, but a lot of my friends just want to play nothing but nothing but online games. It's just like,
yeah, I don't do that either. Yeah, I miss couch co-op. You know what I mean? You would get together with your buddy and you would just, and they don't make games to do that.
Even anymore, online co-op would be cool.
Yeah, they don't design games there's not a lot anymore.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of online co-op games.
That's why I like, I know a lot of people like to shit on the game. Well, it's far improved from its release, but the Star Wars Battlefront 2, the new one, it finally put in a co-op mode, and it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Is there an actual story mode in those games?
And the new one, the new Battlefront 2 is yeah, there's a story mode. A great campaign, actually. I love it. It's
I got it for free, so I was thinking about playing it, but I didn't want to play the online.
play the story for Battlefront 2. It's amazing.
Shit, I'll download it.
Well, amazing is a strong word. It's very, very good. Like, if you like a lot of the stuff that's going on in current Star Wars canon, you're going to be into it. I mean, it's short. That's the only thing. It's like, it was too short to me, but it had cool characters in there and shit. And
you know, it was really confusing to me for a long time, speaking of Star Wars, because I was just thinking about this today. I used to think that the clones were still a thing whenever the clones were still a thing when Stormtroopers came about, and I was just like, what's the difference between clones and Stormtroopers? Now I know.
Well, Stormtroopers were created by the Empire. That they
I know.
They took in the clones and made them into Stormtroopers. But eventually the clones phased out, obviously. And
yeah.
They just started recruiting people.
Did they phase it out just because of Jango's DNA?
No, I don't think it's some. Well, it might have some of it. I mean, you know how the, or maybe you don't, because I don't think you finished Clone Wars yet. But you know,
I haven't. I just know that part of Clone Wars it talks about that.
Well, no, the only thing I was gonna say is like the Empire and the Mandalorians don't typically get along, and Jango Fett was really one of the first to inspire that armor, right? So I don't know. I mean, it could have something to do with that. I just think it was like eventually the clones got old and died. I mean, they do age. You've seen Captain Rex in
Rebels.
Yeah, he's in Clone Wars too.
Yep.
Quite a bit. And but you saw how he aged from Clone Wars to Rebels is my point. So
yeah. I mean, like, it just kind of confuses me because like it's an idea they came up with. Why wouldn't they just continue the idea?
They kind of did, but they
with Snoke.
Oh, all the clones were dead by then. I mean, they're still cloning. I mean, obviously that's. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like they cloned to make Snoke, and obviously to bring Palpatine back. That was all done through cloning.
So Palpatine was back through cloning?
Yeah, they used cloning technology. I mean, what was the child Mando? I mean, there's got to be some kind of cloning connection there, I would think.
I don't know.
I don't know if they necessarily like cloned Yoda, but I'm saying like there's got to be some cloning there because the guy, well, Kamino is the cloning facility in Attack of the Clones. The guy that originally wanted Baby Yoda has the patch from Kamino on his arm. So he works.
It makes me think he wants to clone the Baby Yoda.
Right, but my point is it'll probably integrate one way or the other. That's possible too. I don't know that necessarily.
We'll definitely figure that out.
Well, I mean, I think I said, what was it in the Rise of Skywalker episode? I think I was talking about how maybe that's how they use his DNA to bring back Palpatine. Yeah. I think that's actually pretty likely.
I feel like I feel like our theory on Baby Yoda being able to heal is still kind of set in place there.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that the child's going to die if they take some DNA. That just means they need some part of him.
Yeah.
To clone Palpatine. So my guess is the guy who was helping with that didn't want the child to die either, but he was just sitting there telling Mando, like, you know, I want him alive too. I'm going to try to take his DNA the safe way. So in my opinion, maybe Mando should have never taken him out of that. If that's the case, because when he had him in that facility,
man, I'm drawing blanks.
in season 1, way in the beginning of season 1,
yeah. Outside of that, so there's some huge news in the anime community right now.
Oh yeah.
The original creator for Naruto had left Boruto up to his assistant.
Okay.
And now the assistant's gotten so far into Boruto to a special point that I'm not going to spoil for you because I know you haven't seen anything since you don't really have anybody on there that's like Naruto fans, but we're at a special point where the Naruto creator is taking back over, which means a lot of deaths are about to start happening. Which means he's going to start killing off a lot of his own creations.
All right. Sounds
And
like a
that's
fun
all I'll
time.
say. And it's people are like, oh, I was on the Naruto forums and I keep seeing people go like, oh, maybe there's like one of the things I saw was, oh, maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope for the Naruto world. And my friend was like, nah, these people are actually dying now.
Are these characters that people got attached to then?
Yeah, these are people that you're gonna get attached to
So
throughout the story.
it's gonna become Game of Thrones essentially.
Kind of, but I wouldn't necessarily compare it to that. And the reason why is because like the series, so you start off with Naruto as like a 12-year-old boy, then you get to Shippuden. Shippuden's Naruto like 15 to 16, maybe 17. And then Naruto is old, like he's like in his 30s, 40s, has 2 kids. It's essentially just handing the torch over at this point.
Gotcha.
So like use Naruto's age as a reference to all the other characters around, and then you have a good idea as to like what's going on.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Well, that sounds awesome though. It still sounds like a series I'd be into.
I hands down believe it is.
I like ballsy shit like that too.
If you have Hulu, all of Hulu, Hulu has all of the series of Naruto.
I still have it. I gotta look again. If I do, I haven't been on it in a while.
Crunchyroll will most likely have Naruto as well, but I would just say watch it on Hulu. But you're gonna get to a point where I'm not sure if you're cool with reading your shows, but you're gonna have to for Naruto.
Did you miss the part where I said I was a Kurosawa fan? Like I have a ton of foreign films back here. I have a ton of foreign films back here. Was the point?
Then you should be fine with anime. Yeah. Sub will probably be your favorite thing then.
Yeah. Watch Seven Samurai if you don't know who Kurosawa is. That's one of the best movies
you'll have to send it to me.
All right. There's an anime based on it too.
What's it called?
The anime is Samurai 7.
And then what's the show or movie?
The Kurosawa movie is Seven Samurai.
Okay.
But they made an anime based on it. It's Samurai 7. I haven't seen the anime. I can't vouch for it, but the movie is one of the best of all time. I mean, there's so many things that take inspiration from that movie, including Lucas with his original Star Wars trilogy. I mean, really, Kurosawa was the king of the wipe transition, like before Lucas was doing it. So
wipe?
like when the screen wipes.
Oh.
Yeah, like Kurosawa was doing that way before Lucas, but Lucas got that idea from Kurosawa. So.
How old is Kurosawa?
Oh, he's dead now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, older than Lucas.
Well, he's deader than Lucas too.
Yeah. I don't know about that. It's like Lucas died and nobody told him, like a long time ago. Let's see. So all right. So before we get to some news, guys, please hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, and share this with your friends. That's much appreciated. Yeah. So you want to talk some news here? We have. So first on the list is Witcher season 2. Very funny. Witcher season 2 halted production due to COVID-19. Did you watch the first season of The Witcher?
Yes, I did, and I played the third game. I need to play the first and second, but you can't play the first unless you have a fucking computer. I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of don't want to.
I played the first on this puppy, and it works pretty well. It's really good.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun time. But yeah, the Witcher first season, I gotta tell you, I was blown away by it. I thought it was really well done.
I agree.
I was nervous at first when it was all the timeline scattered and everything, which I'm told is not going to be a thing in season 2. It's going to be pretty straightforward, but
from what I understand, no, it's not. I think they're gonna maybe do it like once or twice, and that's about it. Mainly, it's going to be like them switching between Yennefer and Geralt, from my understanding.
Right. Yeah, that's all they really should. Well, who is it? Oh, Geralt will be with
Ciri.
Yeah, he'll be with her. So, but yeah,
So they put a halt on it? I didn't know about this.
halted production for COVID, unfortunately. So, I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of read this story and I said, well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like close contact going on with people. I mean,
Especially with Geralt.
they shoot a lot of their action practically, so it's not like they, you know what I mean? It's not like the action's being CGI'd in there. So, yeah, I kind of read that and was like, huh, yeah, like
Well,
it kind of makes sense.
there's talks about them not using Mark Wahlberg, not Mark, or Mark Hamill as Vesemir, and that kind of saddens me.
Were they supposed to?
Mark Hamill was saying, "Yeah, I'd like to play this character that I don't know anything about,"
Mm.
and everybody was like, "Yes, yes."
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was even interested.
From my understanding, he was. Now, I mean, this could be a bad news source, but another thing I saw is that apparently, God, what is his name? I can't think of it for the life of me. Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
Yes, Jason Momoa is going to be a part of the Witcher series.
I think I heard that rumor too.
Whether it's going to be as a part of the actual Witcher series or part of the prequel series, like the first Witcher, I'm unsure.
Yeah, they're talking about doing like a spinoff, right? So
Blood Origin.
Yeah.
Which would be cool.
I don't know. I mean, now that's another thing I was going to bring up is, do you think that, I mean, I'm thinking that one might actually come out first. We'll see.
I have no clue.
Because I think they started filming that already, if I'm not mistaken.
They started filming both, from my understanding.
Okay. If that comes out first, then I feel like I'm going to have my Witcher void filled. Yeah.
Whatever one comes out, I don't even care. I want to watch.
I'm still sad. Like that first season is so damn good, and I can't wait to see what happens next time.
Really I went through and watched it like 4 times.
It's pretty fucking good. I watched it at least 2 or 3, I think. So, yeah, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. All right, so moving on.
Real quick.
Yes.
Since we're kind of on like video game and book series.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the announcement of the Last of Us TV series?
I'm okay with it.
I am stoked for it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool.
I'm stoked for it because Neil Druckmann is going to be a huge part of it. So that means he's going to help out with the whole process, and is supposed to lead us into the events of 2. It's supposed to be between 1 and 2. I think it starts off with 1 and leads all the way through. And it covers up it's supposed to cover up any of the questions that we may have between the games.
I don't know the story of the games yet, but I'm okay with them.
You still haven't played them,
right? We talked about this.
I know.
But I'm okay. I'm always okay with them adapting. I think actually after The Witcher, like I'm like, yeah, if you're gonna adapt the video games, put them in the TV series. It just makes more sense that way. I mean,
because we've seen how well they do with movies,
right? With the exception of Detective Pikachu and Sonic, I don't think any of them have been that successful. So.
I want another fucking Pokemon movie like that.
Detective Pikachu was great.
That was like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I didn't see the Sonic. I still need to watch that.
Sonic is decent.
Yeah, I hear it's good.
It's very kid oriented compared to Detective Pikachu, which you think would be vice versa.
True. No, Detective Pikachu was fantastic. I have the 4K back there somewhere. I don't know.
Send it to me. I will pay you $1 trillion.
A trillion? No, I can get like 10 PS5s for that.
Just 10?
Oh yeah, I'll probably expand. I'll get 5 more Detective Pikachus, and yeah, I can get a lot of shit, man.
I need to find a good Detective Pikachu Blu-ray. If they have it on Steelbook, I need to get it. I really like that. There is a
Steelbook. There was at one point. Like I think there was a Best Buy exclusive at some point.
No, I'll find it on Amazon.
They might have it there. Who knows?
Most likely.
Yeah.
On with the news.
Hold on. I wanted to try to find mine somewhere back here. Do I even have the movie? Do I have the movie?
You should.
Let's see.
You just said you did.
I thought I did. Apparently I don't own this movie. What the hell?
Dude, I'm coming over to your house for a movie night now that I see how big your collection is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it prior, but like I've never paid attention to it until now.
I am like totally freaking out right now though, because I was like 99% sure I own Detective Pikachu on Blue. Oh, you know what? It's probably filed under Pokemon. Hang on. 1 second here.
Say, I'm about to check your Voodoo account and see if you have it on there.
There she is.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
I think I just need to change my pants now. I really did love that movie. That movie,
it's great.
Like the first time I watched it, it made me cry. I was like, "This is so
awesome." A lot of heart at the end there. Yeah, it was pretty emotional.
I was like, oh, so good, nostalgia trips. Dude, as a kid, I'd be like, we'd be driving from like Hartford City to Kokomo, backward and forth, back and forth. And right. I can't even fucking think today. And I'd just be sitting there playing like Crystal Edition, and it'd be stormy. I'd be like, what would happen if lightning, like as a little kid, I was like, what would happen if lightning struck the game and Pokemon come to life? I wanted it so bad.
All right, moving into the news, we have so Doug Liman. You saw Live, Die, Repeat, right? Formerly known as Edge of Tomorrow, the Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt flick.
Yes, I barely remember it though.
All right, so Live, Die. Yeah, anyway, I was just saying, Doug Liman, director of Live, Die, Repeat, which I thought was a phenomenal movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah,
I just wish I could remember it.
He has been directing Chaos Walking for ages now. Feels like
know nothing about it.
Yeah, it's a YA adaptation. Yeah,
YA,
young adult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a young adult adaptation of a series. Yeah, I'm sorry. He's making a movie, but the book series. He's adapting a book series, I guess. Or no, I'm sorry. So like he's taking from the book series to make the Chaos Walking movie, if that makes sense.
Okay. So I know nothing about these.
Honestly, I don't either, other than this production has been a fucking mess. We have heard nothing about this other than the casting. I know a lot of people are excited about it. I was only excited about it because I like Doug Liman's directing. I think he's a really good action director. He definitely knows how to shoot a movie. I think... yeah, but this production has evidently been a mess. I mean, to the point where they've called this picture unsalvageable for the longest of times. This has been going on for a good 4 years now. This stars Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland. So they, unfortunately had to delay this film because they had to reshoot it, and they couldn't do the reshoots because Tom Holland was contracted to do Spider-Man, and Daisy Ridley was contracted to do Rise of Skywalker.
Star Wars.
So, unfortunately, it's been put off till this long. Well, finally, we got some leaked footage from this film. Finally. Now, young adult movies, you can take them or leave them. This is my opinion on this footage, and obviously it's a minimal amount that we got, but I'll kind of tell you how I feel. Like young adult movies, you can take them or leave them. I like the Hunger Games movies. I think it kind of fell off at the end there for me. Maze Runner I thought was consistently good. My problem is they just kind of run into the same type of concept with each other, especially like and like I don't know what happened to Divergent. I thought that first one was really good. And then they
didn't
fall
watch
off,
the other one.
Yeah, they fall off. I mean, and then
hold on. Harry Potter is technically young adult.
Yeah, but that was like the first one that did it. You know what I mean? That like was successful. Like, and then everybody was like, we got to jump on this train and write like J.K. Rowling. And they couldn't write like J.K. Rowling. It's not that they're bad writers. Like I said, the Maze Runner...
They're just not transphobic enough.
I think the Maze Runner one is the most consistently good trilogy. You know what I mean? Like it is...
No, I love it.
3 are really good. And I think that they were casted well and they have a really good story to them. And I like
Those are some of my top movies too.
They're good. They're really good.
Yeah, they're solid.
The Maze Runner. And then what was I gonna say? And then I think by the time they did the fifth wave, the timing was just bad because people were sick of young adult. And then obviously we all know how everybody feels about Twilight, which was trying to bank off the Harry Potter success, did not work.
What I don't know what the fifth wave is.
That was the Alien movie with starring Chloe Grace Moretz. It was supposed to be a series of movies, and it never really made it. I didn't think it was terrible. I think the reason that like a lot of people hated it is because the timing. We'd had so many of those damn things at that point, you know what I mean? It was like it came out at a bad time. I didn't think it was awful. I just think the timing for it was bad. That was
well, you know what? Your timing is bad.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it. I actually own that one somewhere, but
is it on your Vudu at all?
I think it might be. You might want to check on that. It might actually be. I haven't rewatched.
I'll give it a watch.
I remember liking it when I saw it, but like, it wasn't amazing, but I remember liking it.
What's that movie that was about the war games in space, and they were like training kids to
Ender's Game was awesome. That was
the ending was ruined for me, so I never even got to watch it.
Oh man,
it's kind of like watching Sixth Sense after knowing what the ending of Sixth Sense is. Which, speaking of, if you guys haven't watched Sixth Sense and you're thinking, well, I wonder about the ending, which I don't know how you wouldn't have watched Sixth Sense by now, depending on how old you are. But go watch Sixth Sense and don't spoil the ending for yourself, because it's a fantastic film, and Bruce Willis is a fantastic actor. Fuck that little kid though; he doesn't do a good job voice acting as Sora.
Anyway, whatever that means.
The little kid in that movie.
Haley Joel Osment is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just shitting on him because I hated Kingdom Hearts 3. Go on.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Excuse me. So
that has nothing to do with him, by the way. Kingdom Hearts 3 was a mess because of other reasons.
Right.
He did a good job.
Okay. He's typically good.
No, he's fantastic.
Anyway, yeah, but you're right. Ender's Game was, I think the biggest mistake they made with that movie was that they geared it toward children, and that if apparently those books are not supposed to be meant for children. I mean, I think it's a really good movie, and I wish they would have continued, but they they PG'd it. You know what I mean? And
I wish I hadn't seen the ending before I watched the movie.
It's a good movie. I mean, it's got like a great cast, great moments. The visuals are really stunning in it. They still hold up. There's a couple parts that are choppy in it, but for the most part, it's a pretty damn good movie. So now we haven't had one of these YA things in a long time, and here we are. We're getting Chaos Walking, which is supposed to be an unsalvageable movie, but I say to that, Rogue One was an unsalvageable movie at one time. Like
Rogue One was phenomenal.
It is phenomenal, but at the time they were saying that it was such a disaster that it couldn't be fixed. So,
speaking of which, when are we filming that one?
I'll get back to you.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I got to get with other people, but I'll let you know. So excuse me. So Chaos Walking is I don't know what it's about at all, but I can tell you from this leaked footage, this is what I got from it. Definitely followed some of the YA tropes from the footage, but I gotta tell you, it had that same like style and dark grit and edge that like Live Die Repeat had, and I think that mixed with the YA kind of thing, like it works. It's gonna work really well, because it definitely looked like one of the more action-packed, one of the more edgy young adult movies. So I'm hoping that they stick with that. I'm looking forward to it just based on the leaked footage alone. I think it might be pretty good. So, any thoughts on that?
I know nothing about it, so I can't really say. But I mean, Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, I'm about it.
Right. I mean, the cast too is really exciting. Yeah. I mean, those are two phenomenal actors, so I think at the very least we'll get two good performances from them, unless they half-assed it on the reshoots. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope it really turns out good. It looks like the two of them are going to have good chemistry on screen together, so we'll see. All right, so next up we have Leslie Headland is talking about doing a Star Wars series. I don't know anything about Leslie Headland. I can't tell you anything about this, but she
couldn't
has
tell you either.
she has been hired. This actually came out a while back, like months ago, that it was rumored that she was being hired to do a Star Wars show that was going to be female led. Well, she has come out recently and she has said that she actually spent all of 2020 working on this series. Now,
What's her name?
Leslie Headland. So
Go on.
whether that means they've actually started filming or not, I don't know. My guess is that she's written it, figured out what it's going to be. But I guess my question to you is, in the midst of Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, how do you feel about another Star Wars series maybe coming into the mix next year?
I'm about it, Dom. I'm always about new Star Wars, even if it's bad.
Well, here's the thing. Like, man, I mean, I'm telling you, they're set over there at Lucasfilm. They got this like controlled environment with this stagecraft technology that they're filming in. Like, they really should spend their years just making a ton of these series to put on Disney Plus. It could be a never-ending thing.
I agree.
I mean, it's going to be bad for the legacy of Star Wars because God knows our kids aren't going to watch all of it. But I'm saying, like, in terms
Fuck
of
them kids,
in terms of just our enjoyments, we can have like a lot of Star Wars here. I've also heard a rumor, and this is just a rumor. This is something I heard. Please take this with a grain of salt. That Sam Witwer has already signed on to do a Darth Maul series. I just heard that rumor this week. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it really looks like it looks like they're calling up their boy Dave Filoni and they're saying, "Hey Dave, make us like Marvel. Give us all these things that connect together really well." It just, dude,
please.
I'll tell you what. I mean, we'll get into it more in the episode
Please.
review for episode 3. But
please.
What are you okay?
I'm saying please.
Oh yeah, I want it to happen too.
Please.
Yeah, we'll get into it more in the episode review, but I gotta tell you, with all this stuff coming out, like, I'm starting to feel like, as a man who's read a lot of the canon novels and played a lot of the games, watched a lot of the animated series, I'm finally starting to feel rewarded for all that. So it's really nice hearing these things. So we'll see what happens with that, but it's supposed to be a female-led series, so we'll see what happens with the Leslie Headland one. I hope it makes it next year. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. All right, what do we got next? All right, so the Snyder Cut. Ian, I forgot to ask you, because we were talking about this Batman v Superman business a couple episodes ago or so, and you were telling me you didn't like the movie, which is... I think I failed to mention that actually I didn't really love the theatrical cut that much of Batman v Superman. I was going to ask you, did you watch the Snyder cut of Batman v Superman ever? Because
no,
the Snyder cut is actually what made me like the movie, like a lot more, because well, first of all, he gets a lot more time to tell that story that he was wanting to tell, and it fleshes out a lot of the elements.
Is the Snyder cut on your Vudu?
Yeah, it's you have to go to it's called the Ultimate Edition.
Okay,
the Batman.
I'll give it a watch.
Ultimate Edition. It's the R-rated 3-hour cut of that. But
3 fucking hours. Okay, go on.
Well, wait. I mean, so I wanted to ask you that before, because it took me. I just remembered that today, that I was like, I forgot to tell Ian I wasn't crazy about that theatrical one either. I've watched the extended cut so much, or the Ultimate Edition so much at this point, that it's like, I forgot there was even a theatrical cut. I just consider Snyder's to be Batman v Superman. You know what I mean? Or Snyder's extended cut to be that. They definitely made him cut a lot out of that theatrical cut. So speaking of making Zack Snyder cutting things out, though, let's talk about Justice League. We all know what happened there. Zack Snyder, was supposed to direct Justice League to finish out his trilogy of the Justice, I guess. You know, it was supposed to be Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and to complete that story was going to be the Justice League. Well, you know, Zack Snyder's daughter commits suicide. He has a family tragedy. He leaves Justice League, and they hire Joss Whedon to come redo the movie. It's nothing against Joss Whedon, but Joss Whedon didn't do a very good job redoing that movie. However, on the same hand, he probably did everything the studio asked him to do. Now Warner Brothers has new leadership, and here we are getting the Snyder cuts of the Justice League. It's going to be a 4-hour cut on HBO Max. We all know the story. I mean, I'm pretty stoked about this because I can't wait to see how different it actually is from what Joss Whedon did with Zack Snyder's movie. Now, here's the thing. Zack Snyder said that there was a cut that wasn't complete, but it was a cut. It had the bones to it, had the structure. He already had that cut together. And then the original report was like $30 million to finish it up. I don't know if you know how much special effects cost on one of these, but it's definitely a lot more than $30 million. So then one of the guys from Warner Brothers was like, oh, I wish it was just $30 million. It turned out it was $70 million. Now we're hearing reports of all these reshoots. He's bringing in the cast back in to do reshoots, and everybody was bitching quite a bit because they were like, well, then he didn't really have the bones to his cut if he's doing all these reshoots. Well, good news. It turns out the reshoots that he did is only to add an extra 4 minutes to the already 4-hour film. So, yeah. So we're going to be okay there, I think. Sounds like that he did have his bone structure for his cut already done and completed. So it is actually the Zack Snyder cut. A lot of people are misconstruing this article, and there's a reason I want to get into this, because a lot of people are looking at that as they spent $70 million on 4 minutes, and it's like, no, they spent $70 million to add the post-production special effects onto the bare bone cut of the film that he already had in his hands. It costs a lot to get that polished and looking good. And there's not 4 minutes added on to his 2-hour cut or whatever. That doesn't even make sense. Or I'm sorry, there's not 4 minutes being tacked on to the Joss Whedon cut we saw, because that doesn't make sense either. We already know this cut's going to be 4 hours long. He's saying that everything he reshot, just to clarify the article, was done in 4 minutes. So anyway, Ian, how are you feeling about the Snyder cut of Justice League? Are you going to watch this thing?
Probably not.
Let me tell you why I think you'll think it's going to be good. And I haven't seen the thing, Ian. As far as I know, I could watch it and think it's complete shit and really be disappointed. But let me tell you why I think you'll think it's good. Well, the first thing I recommend is to watch that Batman v Superman cut of his, because I gotta tell you, I didn't like the theatrical cut of that. Once I saw his extended cut, damn, it won me over. I was like, Zack Snyder, they clearly made him cut shit from that movie. They weren't happy with what he was doing at the time, so a lot of the reason that movie didn't turn out as great as it could have is because the studio interfered. Same thing for Justice League. I feel like now that he doesn't have studio interference and they're letting him make his full-fledged vision, a 4-hour cut of this movie, he's got time to flesh out his story, man. I think he's going to be able to really make this thing happen. I think it's going to be a completely different movie than that original, or the Joss Whedon Justice League that we got. Yeah, man. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, it looks different.
Is this like just them redoing Justice League?
This is Zack Snyder finished his cut before he got taken off the project. So This is his cut of the movie. This is his 4-hour cut, like complete 4-hour cut of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, yes. I mean, they had Whedon come in and reshoot like 80% of that movie that Zack Snyder had. Not to mention it came in at 2 hours and not 4 hours. Zack Snyder had a cut of 4 hours. All they're really doing now is post-production. That's what $70 million cost them.
I will give this one a watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, man, Snyder, if you watch the Watchmen Ultimate Edition, you can't tell me that he doesn't know how to make a fucking movie. I mean, he really kills it. 300, is another good example. I mean, 300 is incredible. Zack
300
Snyder,
is a good movie that I couldn't keep up with.
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I think when
It
Zack
is.
Snyder gets the freedom, he can really do a lot, and this is what he has here. He has freedom to cut this movie however which way he wants. They are giving him $70 million to polish up his cut and also add an extra 4 minutes to what he already had. So I think that this sounds really fantastic, if you ask me. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. So, anyway, guys, it still is Zack Snyder's cut because everybody was worried about the reshoots that was going to take up majority of it. Then they're like, well, if you're just remaking the movie, then it's not your cut. Well, he's not. He's just adding an extra 4 minutes, which isn't really that much. That's all he shot. So extra for his cut. His cut was already done at the 4 hours. So, anyway, guys. All right, Ian, let's talk about this last story, and then we'll move into our holiday special review. So the last thing is Wonder Woman 84 may go to HBO Max in January. This is kind of a big deal. So what they're saying might happen, and it's only a possibility at this point. They're still thinking about what they want to do, but this is a really, really big deal, is that they were going to... what they want to do is keep their Christmas release date for the theaters that are open around the world.
I thought 84 was already out.
No, never happened yet. It's still been pushed.
Say, because I walked around my local Walmart and they had like little posters for it.
Yeah, it was being marketed big time. It was supposed to come out back in March. That's why.
Oh, wow.
Then it got pushed to July, then to like August, and then now December. Christmas to be exact. I think it was like October then Christmas. So
I wonder if that has the same problem that what was it? New Mutants had, because New Mutants was the deal with that was they had to release it theatrically.
No, it has the COVID problem. That's what Wonder Woman has. New Mutants had the reshoots problem. Wonder Woman has been done. I mean, and they seem to be pretty happy with whatever cut they have of that movie. It's just that,
from my understanding, New Mutants was it was done like 3 years ago, but
the cut we saw was done, but Fox wanted to put in money to reshoot that movie. That never happened because Fox got bought out by Disney. Disney wasn't sure what the hell to do with it. And then they were finally like, okay, we'll just put out Josh Boone's original cut of it. We're not going to put any more money into reshoots because Fox already had, and it was just a big fucking mess. They couldn't find a way to cut the reshoots into what they already had. So by the time Disney bought it, so they were just like, well, we're not going to put any more money into this. So we're putting it out. Anyway, so Wonder Woman 84, though, what they want to do is keep their Christmas theatrical release date. And then they want to drop it on HBO Max in January, which is a big deal because no blockbuster, I don't think in the history of the world, anything this big has ever shortened the theatrical window that much. On top of this, we just heard that Cinemark had made a deal with Universal to now shorten their theatrical windows to put their movies on VOD earlier to try to squeeze more money out. Ian, do you think that this is thinking business sense on the part of the studios, putting the movies out on VOD earlier during a pandemic?
I think because it's a pandemic, that is a business decision that they've made to help save money on things, like essentially keep money in their pockets, as to where they might lose out a lot with everything going on. Because I feel like we're probably still going to hit another wave with COVID.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, we've heard a lot of good news about vaccines. Hopefully it helps get this sped up a bit quicker, but we'll see. The way I'm looking at it, man, is, there's really no right or wrong here. Everybody's kind of going into survival mode. This is really starting to indicate the death of movie theaters, though. I mean, this is not looking good for theaters anymore. Which is very unfortunate. I like watching movies from my home, but then there's some things like a Wonder Woman 84 I'd rather go see in the theater. It's a theatrical movie.
I feel like a lot of theaters are definitely going to shut down.
Yeah, well, they're already closed. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, they're struggling. It's
See, here theaters are still open.
Yeah, I am so confused. Yeah, I got some out here too that are, but it's dumb because I think your numbers and my numbers in terms of COVID are pretty up. So, that's a different conversation.
I mean, I'm in fucking Texas, so
Right, that's a different conversation. But no, the way I'm looking at it, man, is everybody's in survival mode. It just this really sucks for the theaters if they're going to start shortening the theatrical window for these because, and it's not that the movies would make money right now anyway in the theater, like not a lot. But yeah, man, that's it's sad, man. But we could really be seeing the death of the theaters, which is going to be a big deal, and I really don't want that to happen because I enjoy going to the theater, and it's something that gets everybody out of the house. There is nothing like the collective group of people coming together to see a movie that we're all excited about. I mean, there's just we won't get that anywhere else. I mean, it's
I
big
agree.
big deal, man, and very very sad stuff. But let's hope for the best. Let's hope that they can figure out a way to survive. But just something I wanted to get your take on. All right. Let's talk about this holiday special. We're going to do non-spoiler on this holiday special, and then we'll close out the show talking Mandalorian, and we can talk spoilers on that. It's the last time Mark and I did one, and I was like, fast forward for like the next 12 minutes, and we timed it pretty well that way, but it was still like, I don't want to make people fast forward that haven't seen it. So that's why I figure we'll close out with the Mandalorian, and we can go all in on that. All
I'm
right.
cool with that.
So, let's do this Lego Star Wars holiday special. So, I'll preface it this way. I mean, I'll start here. Like, I was not looking forward to this at first. Saw the trailer. It looked like it could be a lot of fun. It just looked like that's all it was trying to be was a lot of fun. And boy, was I right. I thought this movie was a lot of fun. It definitely took from the mind of a kindergartner, and like it was almost like like a child, like a toddler, pouring their Star Wars Legos out and just playing with them, right? Like it kind of
Oh yeah.
hit that mindset as opposed of a kindergartner, which is like such a contrast from the original holiday special, which feels like it was written by a kindergartner. So I think that this one is such a huge improvement in that sense because it really made me think about a lot of young kids, who probably have not seen the originals yet, and they've just grown up on the sequels, and because that's their Star Wars trilogy, right, and stuff, like kind of like we had the prequels and the originals when we were younger. And I'm thinking like, well, now because they've kind of this pays tribute to a lot of that. I'm not gonna. I mean, you can see it in the trailer how it does that, but I'm saying because it pays tribute to a lot of that, like a lot of kids are like now gonna know, like, oh hey, that's if they ever come across Empire, I know where that takes place because of the holiday special. You know what I mean? So it kind of gives them that knowledge here in kind of a short period of time. This thing's only like 42 minutes long. I thought
I
it
think
was.
that's what
Go
I
ahead.
think that's what the Lego Star Wars is supposed to do anyway.
Right. I mean, it's a non-canon story. It's kind of like a what-if scenario. Although there are some concepts I won't give away in the beginning here that I thought that can be a cool natural next step if they do want to bring that into canon. I think you know what I'm talking about, but
No, I agree.
yeah. So there was some things that made sense because it's a what-if scenario that takes place after Rise of Skywalker. But I found the movie to be very hysterically funny. I think it took shots at all the movies, like parodied them in such a way, but also honored them and tributed them. I mean, some of the ways that they recreated some of the classic scenes from the older movies was really really cool, and it really felt like a celebration.
It was really
Um,
fun.
yeah, of Star Wars for like everybody. But yeah, what did you think of it overall? I mean, you said it was fun, but
You know what? I watched it and I thought, I'm not going to pay too much attention, and it caught my attention.
yeah,
It actually caught my
yeah,
attention
it
very
did a
well.
good job at that for sure.
It did a good job of keeping my attention. It actually made me laugh a few times, which movies like this usually just make me go like,
Yeah,
funny. But like throughout this whole thing, I was kind of like, nice, nice. So just like couple laughs here and there. Like, yeah, that's funny.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah.
very well done. Very well done. I wasn't displeased with watching that.
I agree, man. And as the resident Star Wars nut, I could tell you that I'm probably going to watch this every Christmas. Like, this is going to be my holiday special. Like, don't even get me started on the other one. But yeah, that's a lot of
You know
fun.
what? I'm gonna make you start watching the holiday special from the '80s with me all the time.
Hey, man, if it gets the laugh, it gets the laugh. But I mean, listen, man, this is the thing. I mean, yeah, this movie, like, it's hard to harp on this movie with anything because it's so self-aware of what it is. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
feel like the creators just do a good job anyway. I mean,
yeah.
like we saw what they did. I don't know if it's the same creators, but I think it is. We saw what they did with Into the Spider Verse.
No, it's not Phil. It's not Lord Miller.
Okay, I know that they worked on the Lego
I mean,
Movie.
they might be like distant producers on it, but I don't know actually who directed this. To be honest with you, it wasn't Lord Miller though.
Mm.
I don't think they're allowed anywhere near Star Wars projects again. To be honest with you, after getting fired from Solo, but
They got
uh,
fired from Solo.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. Actually, they didn't even direct Into the Spider-Verse. They were just producers on that too. The only thing that they did direct, well, they've directed the 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street movies. They also did the Lego movie, and I think that's all they've ever actually directed themselves, and Lego Batman. I'm pretty sure. So,
Hmm.
yeah, they don't really have a lot of directing experience, but yeah, they got after they got fired off Solo. I doubt that they're allowed anywhere
How
near
did
the Star Wars movies, but
how did you get fired from Solo?
apparently you saw the beginning of Solo, right?
Yeah.
That was their original ending, so
Oh,
you can
okay.
imagine.
I forgot about that.
You can imagine.
That's a bad ending.
And apparently you have Han Solo act like Ace Ventura throughout the film. That's how you make that's how you get fired from a Solo movie. When your main star complains that the directors are having you act like Ace Ventura, then you got a problem probably. So I don't know if that's the case or not. That's just what I've heard. So
Fair enough.
creative differences, the usual PR statement they usually put out is why they got fired. Yeah, so listen, I mean the biggest problem I had with the holiday thing was the holiday thing, the Lego Star Wars holiday special was uh I felt like the voice actors were really good. The one who did Rey wasn't terrible, but I felt like she was really struggling to do an impression of Rey at
I
times.
agree.
You know what I mean? So that was like my only gripe. But like once you're
I
into it
wasn't
and
too
you get
focused
used
on
to it,
them.
yeah, once you get into it, it's a lot of fun and you really don't care that much. And you're just kind of happy to see these characters in this feel good type, celebration of all things Star Wars and something that was made to watch around Christmas time. So that's my opinion on that. Guys, let us know what you thought of that in the comments section. And yeah, we're gonna put up the big spoiler warning now. We're gonna talk about Mandalorian season 2 episode 3. This was a big one, and if you guys have not seen it, we're gonna talk about this to close out the show.
Save your eggs and milk so they don't go spoiled.
So for the people that are tuning out, thank you for joining. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comments section, do all that. Putting up the spoiler
Love you.
warning now, so goodbye. Thank you. All right, here we go, Ian. All right, so Mandalorian season 2 episode 3. Dude, I don't even think I don't know. I think that this is my favorite episode from both seasons combined. Like,
I'm just gonna do a quick interjection. You said season 3 episode. I was just like, I wish we had a season 3 already.
it's supposedly already
It's so good.
That's going into production too, from what I understand here pretty soon.
Oh.
So, yeah, so they're really getting ahead of the game. But listen, man, yeah, I fucking love this show. This show is everything that I think I've wanted. It's like, it reminds me of like the Night of the Old Republic game from back in the day, where you would go on these side missions, but you're also building the story. You get a little bit of information that builds up the story and the characters each episode along the way, each mission. This is kind of how I feel about this show. And can I just say, fucking Bo-Katan, man. That was so cool to see. Dude, how'd you feel about it, man? Get into it. I'm sure you were stoked about a lot of this.
As soon as I saw her armor, I was like, oh!
Yeah.
And as soon as she took the helmet off, I was like,
Dude. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean,
I
it's
died. I died. I was like, yes,
oh
yes,
my god.
yes. Excuse me.
This episode did really. This one was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, by the way, who did the Villagers episode from the first season, which I liked. I didn't like it as much as I loved this one though. I thought she really knocked it out of the park. So just some fun trivia from this though. Like Bryce Dallas Howard actually, the beginning when Mando's ship is coming down is almost like a shot for shot thing from Apollo 13, which is a Ron Howard film, and Bryce Dallas Howard is Ron Howard's daughter. So I thought that was cool. She paid tribute to that. That was a fun little neat thing. Dude, you fucking the child going into the mama core and the mama core coming up eating that shit. I was like, what the fuck? And then we get the 3 Mandos coming down though and just fucking kicking ass. And you know the one's Bo-Katan from the armor, right? Like,
oh yeah,
you know it's at least Bo-Katan's armor. Because part of me was like, maybe it's not Bo-Katan because they had Cobb Vanth wearing Boba Fett's armor, right, in the first one. So you never know what can happen really with the show. Fuck man, that was so
dude.
Cool.
When the Mammacore ate the child, and then I was just like, oh, the Mando will go in and save it.
Yeah.
And then they trapped him, and then he started like coming up for air. I'm just like,
yeah.
Yo, Jin, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Go save your baby.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And
then we see them come down. I was like, yes.
I think a lot of it's because his Beskar is like heavy. I think they wear like Bo-Katan and them they wear like a lighter Beskar type armor, you know, like, so I think that's part of it all. One of the things that Sasha Banks was in this episode too. I don't know her character's name, but she was standing next to Bo-Katan. We all knew she was going to be in the series, but a lot of people thought she was going to be Sabine. Turned out she wasn't. That's kind of a bummer. But maybe we still get a Sabine in the show. Wouldn't surprise me at this point. Really
I'm hopeful.
Would not surprise me. Dude, Sabine's my favorite from Rebels in terms of additional characters. So yeah, I really want Sabine to...
Oh no, I really like Chopper.
Well, Chopper was in Rogue One, so we already got him live action.
Was he?
Uh-huh. He's in there. I don't remember. Not for long, but he's in there. I mean...
I don't remember him being in there.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do a watch along before we do that, and I'll point them out to you.
I'm cool with that.
And they also call Hera Syndulla over the intercom in that. And so Hera's mentioned in that movie too. Yeah, so they've already kind of done that. But yeah, I mean, to get Sabine, I mean, Sabine's character makes more sense in this series because she's a Mandalorian, though. So if they brought in Sabine, it would make more sense. And same with Bo-Katan. I mean, Bo-Katan makes a lot of sense now. Like Gideon has that Darksaber.
Yeah,
I like how she kind of plays Mando. It's very consistent with Bo-Katan. Obviously, this is a big thing we got to mention is it's Katie Sackhoff playing Bo-Katan in the series, who also voiced her in the animated, which is also another really fun little thing. Yeah, and she really did a good job bringing the character to live action. Yeah, I mean, her kind of playing Mando, you know, they're going after the Empire. One of the things I liked about when they were going after the Imperials is like, this is such a new side of the Empire that we really haven't seen before, I feel like, because this is an Empire that's like, they're desperate, right? To like stick around. So, oh shit.
See, now here's my thing. So Mando is supposed to be based 10 years after
5 years
the
after
Empire.
actually Return of the Jedi.
It's 5?
5 after Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
So by technicality, Bo-Katan has aged a bit too.
Right. Yeah.
About like what, 10 years maybe?
Well, 5 years from Rebels, where Rebels ended. Because Rebels ended after Return of the Jedi, like right after the Battle of Endor. So right after the second Death Star blew up. Because they skipped ahead, remember? Sabine tells her whole story. It's the epilogue, you know? Because Hera and Kanan's son didn't fight, but was with Hera at the end there, and he was a little older. So they skipped ahead the end of Rebels. So when they went to go find Ezra, it was somewhere in this 5 years. Because that's the other thing I wanted to bring up is like, we know Ahsoka's back from looking for Ezra. She's on some planet. She's not in the outer regions looking for him. She is on a planet. Bo-Katan knows of her whereabouts. So did they find Ezra? Did they not find Ezra? I don't know, man. It's a mystery. Are we gonna find this out in this series? Even I mean,
maybe that's why we didn't hear his voice in the end of Rise of Skywalker.
I still think he has to be dead, though.
Maybe they didn't want that to be spoiled in any way, shape, or form.
Unless he turned to the dark side.
Ooh,
yeah,
that'd be cool. Honestly,
that's an interesting take. I don't know how they would do that. There's not like a lot of people to seduce him to the dark side, I don't think, at this point in the story. But we'll see.
I mean, the only person was Maul, and Maul.
Maybe he was one of the Knights of Ren. Who knows?
Nah.
I don't know either. I don't know, man. We'll see. It could be anything really at this point, but yeah, I mean, trust me, man. I was excited when they mentioned Ahsoka Tano. It was like I jumped.
Oh yeah, dude! I shit my
dance.
pants.
Yeah, when she's like, "You go see Ahsoka," I was like, "Oh, we're getting Ahsoka." Oh my god. Yeah, because it's exciting for us, you know, who've seen the animated stuff, and now we're getting this stuff. It was so funny though, Ian, because like not right before this episode came out, but like not long before, you were saying it'd be cool to see Bo-Katan in this. I want more Bo-Katan. Like you were begging for it. And you were even saying on your own just like how much it would have made sense that she'd be in it. So, you know,
especially after the Darksaber reveal.
Right. It's just it did make sense, and that's the thing, and that's one of the things I think like it's evident to me that like after Rogue One came out, like they were like, oh, we can make these movies that aren't necessarily centered around the Jedi, but they're kind of, we're gonna put them there when they make sense, you know, and people will like this.
Give us the stories, man. These stories, like it's not just the Skywalkers, you know, it's not just the Jedi, it's not the Sith. Give us all these stories. The Lord of this universe is just so good.
Yeah, we want these stories and we want new things, and that's something that I mean,
I probably know more history about Star Wars than I do about our world.
I know, really though. And it's like, you say what you will about some of the projects he's worked on, but I mean Filoni as a whole is really good at at world building and expanding a universe, and him and Favreau working together on this have really come up with something that's inspired and has the vibe of a lot of the original Star Wars movies. But
I want a live action TV series with a Jedi or a Sith, which cool. I mean, if we get Maul.
Yeah, let's do Asajj Ventress or Maul or something like that. That'd be very cool. Was Ventress in the prequel movies at all? No, only in the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And there's a book called Dark Disciple that she's in as well. That's pretty good.
Because she's a new character to me.
Yeah, she's no, she wasn't in the prequels. I mean, she's in that era, and obviously she's around, but
yeah.
No, unfortunately not. But she's pretty cool. I mean, she's another one of my favorites. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, you could really go back and explore that area too. I mean, I feel like that's Filoni exceeds exploring the Clone Wars era. So you can do stuff like that too.
Just have Filoni do everything. Filoni is the new Lucas.
He learned everything he knows from Lucas, man. That's why he is good at what he does. I mean, he knows the storytelling, but also he knows how to actually execute that storytelling, and that's something that I'm sorry, Lucas toward the end of his career failed at doing, the execution part of it, in my opinion. But Filoni actually executes a lot of this stuff very well, and I mean, between him and Favreau, it's a good partnership working on the series. Him and Jon Favreau working on this are really incredible. I say you put Jon Favreau in head of creative because Filoni doesn't have enough experience yet, and he will. Or I'm sorry, I say you put Favreau head of studio. I'm sorry, because Filoni doesn't have enough experience yet, and Favreau's just going to listen to everything Filoni says anyway in terms of the creative. So that to me is how you do this. I mean, I'm not saying to fire Kathleen Kennedy, but her contract's ending at the end of the year. So that's all I'm getting at. So anyway, guys, listen, we've been going on quite a while here. Ian, did you have anything else you wanted to add about Mando here before we...
Fantastic. And I'm looking forward to the next one Friday.
Oh my gosh. Can't even imagine what we're going to get next. Next Friday, it's going to be directed by Carl Weathers, but episode 5 is going to be directed by Dave Filoni. So I bet you that's where we see Ahsoka. It's not going to be episode 4, but I bet you 5 because Filoni.
Or we see Ezra.
It'd be interesting. I'm really looking forward to what happens. This story, that's another thing, man. We have no idea where this is going. That's so much fun to think about, and the fact that the possibilities are endless. So, guys, thank you for sticking around till the end. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section. This has been another episode of Dom's Corner. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Ian, before we go, where can the people find you?
Jutacular Ian on both Instagram and YouTube, which I just released a original song on there, so feel free to check that out.
All right, and I'll be leaving all that in the description below, guys, so be sure to check that out for sure. And I'll also be leaving my Twitter and Instagram in the description below as well, so be sure to follow me there. This has been another episode of Dom's Corner, and we will see you guys on Saturday to talk about Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Have a good night. Bye-bye.